This region used to be called the land of eternal spring.
Howdy doodle 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 do. Howdy doodle 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 do.
Lita here at Linalita Farm. We're in the middle of summer here in Nicaragua. We have two main seasons here. We have summer, which we're in now, and winter. They both last for about 6 months each. So typically from November to May is summer, and from May to November is winter. And within those times, we also have what is called a canicula. So within the winter months, we have the canicula that happens in August, usually sometime in August, and the weather becomes more like summer. It's winter, but the weather's more like summer, and it's that way for maybe a couple of weeks. In the winter time, we have a canicula as well. That usually happens right now in February. It's happening a little later this year than usual. We're right in the middle of the canicula, in the summer canicula, and it's more like winter. So we typically get rain. During the dry season here, it's very rare that we get any rain at all. So our summer season here is much like your winter up in the northern hemisphere in terms of its effect. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, in North America, for example, during winter, everything shuts down. The trees lose their leaves, the grass all dies, and you get snow on the ground and what have you. Well, during the summer here, something very similar happens. Many of the trees lose their leaves, the grass dies, and things just kind of shut down. Now, it wasn't always this way. Okay. The region where we live, which is called Matagalpa, which is up in the highlands, the mountains, this region used to be called the land of eternal spring. The land of eternal spring. 25 years ago, in Matagalpa, the temperature rarely went above 85 degrees. It usually hovered around 80 degrees. At night, it was down around 60, maybe 55. And lots of rain. Even during the summer months, we received rain. Obviously not as much, but we received some. Now, largely because of global warming, we're not receiving much rain during the summer months at all. So that's almost 6 months without hardly any rain at all. Now, this makes it very challenging to grow annual crops like vegetables here in Nicaragua. Why? Because in the summer, you have low pest pressure, which is a good thing. But you also have high winds, which are not good for the plants. You have scorching sun, which of course is not good. And there's no water, there's no rain. In winter, it's kind of the opposite. Many times we get too much rain, and the rain we do get comes in torrential downpours, which can destroy the crop. The drops, what we say in Spanish, gotitas. The gotas are very large here of rain, and they can literally come down and pound a crop right into the ground during a torrential rainstorm. So it makes it very, very challenging to be able to grow annual crops here. There's ways of getting around it, and we'll be talking more about that in other videos, but just to give you an idea of some of the challenges that we face here weather-wise. Now, of course, climate change adds another level of problem on top of that. So climate change. Climate change affects everybody. It affects us here. It makes things worse, obviously. And there's been a big debate about whether humans are causing climate change. And I'm going to give you a little bit different perspective on that than what most people do. So this area here, where we're in Matagalpa, this is known as a biome or an ecosystem known as a cloud forest or a montane forest biome. What does that mean? It means that it usually is characterized by old growth forest with low cloud cover. The clouds provide the moisture. So the clouds are right in the canopy, and some of the moisture from the clouds collects on the leaves and drips down to the floor of the forest. But a lot of it is simply absorbed by the leaves and by epiphytes, which are plants that grow way up in the canopy. So that means that soils in both rainforests and in montane forest biomes are not very good. They don't have a lot of topsoil. Decomposition happens very fast. You get torrential rain that leaches out the soil, and the trees and the foliage that is there sucks it up very quickly, and so you had this very thin area of topsoil. Well, when the Spanish conquistadores came, what did they do? They chopped down the forest here. They chopped down the forest and tried to recreate this from a montane forest biome into like a savanna, to be able to grow crops, to be able to raise beef and what have you. So we used to be, we're not a montane forest biome anymore. I mean, technically we're supposed to be, but we're more like a savanna now. And as a result, we have some of the challenges that exist in a savanna. So anyway, that was caused by human beings. So we have been causing climate change for hundreds, thousands of years, human beings. It's just that recently we've reached a tipping point. We've reached a tipping point where all of the human activities have added up to the point where the earth can't absorb them anymore. So I guess I'll leave it there, my rant about climate change. But climate change is caused by humans, and it's been caused by humans for generations and generations and generations. I'll talk more about that in other videos, but I just wanted to give that overview. So that's it for this video.